Hi, I'm Jarek.
Hi, I'm Lorna.
We're going on a journey to discover the legacy of the American Legion
And how that history of the Legion is shaping the vision for our future.
In the White House at Washington, President Roosevelt approves legislation to provide for America's war veterans in the peace to come. By law, federal loans, free schooling, job insurance, and complete rehabilitation are among the benefits assured every man and woman in the service.
One of the strongest arms of the American Legion's devotion to mutual helpfulness is the organization's continuous advocacy and direct assistance for veterans entering the workforce after discharge from military service.
Today, the American Legion is involved in more than 1,000 veteran job fairs and career events a year around the country and overseas. The Legion's legacy of fighting for the economic opportunity of veterans is built on the efforts to help veterans and their families find rewarding jobs that make the most of their military training and GI Bill education benefits, empower veteran entrepreneurs to start and successfully operate businesses, give homeless veterans shelter, food, and education to help them get back on their feet, provide opportunities for disabled veterans to train for new careers, and to maximize the therapeutic value of gainful employment for those who come home changed by wartime service.
In the earliest years of the American Legion, local posts served as employment centers for veterans. By 1922, the American Legion had already helped more than 500,000 veterans land permanent jobs and another 200,000 find temporary work. One problem the American Legion's first generation identified was the opportunity cost of wartime service. Nearly 4 million Americans were called to fight in the First World War, and while they were away, their peers moved forward with their educations and careers, putting veterans at a distinct disadvantage, starting over at square one as a result of military service, while non-veterans were already well on their way up the career ladder. This situation was the basis of the American Legion's argument for adjusted compensation, a pension based on time spent in uniform, time that was sacrificed from individual education and personal career pursuits.
As the Servicemen's Readjustment Act of 1944 was debated by Congress, one of its harshest criticisms was a provision to provide $20 per week for 52 weeks as unemployment pay after discharge. Some members of Congress argued that veterans would simply become slackers and collect the unemployment pay for a year and then start looking for work. The American Legion overcame all the doubts, and so did the veterans, only 14% of whom collected the $20 per week for a whole year. Instead, veterans swarmed into college campuses, into vocational training programs, and to their local banks to finance businesses and farms, thanks to the GI Bill. The GI Bill provided free college education for more than 8 million World War II veterans. The economic impact of the Servicemen's Readjustment Act of 1944 laid the foundation for a half-century of American prosperity.
1 week after the GI Bill was signed into law, the American Legion achieved another legislative victory on the job front, the Veterans Preference Hiring Act of 1944. The Legion had fought since the 1920s to extend military veterans additional points when they applied for jobs in the federal government. The Veterans Preference Hiring Act, which finally did that, was a breakthrough that would help shape U.S. government hiring and contracting policy for decades to come.
The American Legion would later fight for and achieve laws to give businesses owned by disabled veterans advantages in the pursuit of federal contracts. And in the 21st century, the American Legion convinced Congress to advance veterans' credits towards licenses and certifications in specialized career disciplines based on their military training.
For veterans who have fallen on hard times after military service, the American Legion has offered hundreds of programs to reduce homelessness at the state and local levels. One notable example is Pennsylvania's American Legion Housing for Homeless program, which started with a conversation in 1987 and a year later led to the purchase of 4 townhouses in Pittsburgh to provide transitional housing for veterans in need. The program would expand to Philadelphia, Ephrata, and Harrisburg over the years, producing an 85% success rate at keeping more than 400 veterans from returning to homelessness. Whether it's jobs, business opportunities, education, and help getting off the streets and back into the economy, the American Legion has always believed that the nation grows stronger when those who served in the armed forces are given every opportunity to succeed in their lives and careers. Like healthcare and disability relief for veterans, economic opportunity is an area of advocacy the American Legion has taken extremely seriously since its beginning.